This next article from Daily Mail: father of man killed in Seattle's CHOP sues the city for $3 billion. Horace Lorenzo Anderson Sr. this week filed a lawsuit seeking $1 billion each from the city of Seattle, King County, and the state of Washington over his son's June 20th murder. Anderson says they failed their duty. I 100% agree. I mean, maybe $1 billion. Maybe the judge might mark that down a little bit. Maybe $100 million or something. Yeah, I think they can get it. Definitely seems like corrupt Democrats, ivory tower liberals. They didn't want to enforce the laws because they wanted to get the black looter mob to vote for them, because they wanted a state of lawlessness so that they could subvert the U.S. elections. Because you can't just have subverted elections with a law and order state. You have to have a lawless state in order to subvert the elections. And the easiest way to do it is with mail-in ballots. So you have to shut the economy down over some fake news COVID thing. And then you have to lie to everybody about the death counts. And then you have to make everybody wear masks, so you isolate people, make them suicidal, depressed, anxious, not trust anybody. And then when you start committing crimes, you have face masks on, so they can't bust you anywhere near as easily. And so this allows the black looter mobs to just go rampant in crime sprees around the country like they're doing. Murders up 34% in all the big cities. They're out slaughtering thousands of people in crime sprees because of the COVID lockdowns, because of the black looter mob normalizing mob justice. No peace until they get mob justice. They're just going to keep on getting mob justice, because the more crime that you get, the more and more murders they commit, the more police interactions they're going to have, the more police shootings you're going to have, the more accidental deaths you're going to have, the more fake scam donations off of fake news police shootings you're going to get from black looter mobs. It's a self-amplifying cycle that's hitting resonant frequency. Look up resonant frequency in oscillations. I don't even see any way that we can critically dampen this oscillation, to be quite honest. This seems to be a resonant frequency oscillation here in the groupthink echo chamber here, thanks to the censorship by Facebook, Twitter, Quora, the mainstream media, and with the assistance of the Chinese Nazi Party through their millions of people they have monitoring social media in the United States, most of them working for Chinese Nazi Party-controlled companies who do business in the United States. They then monitor companies' reputations, and they also flag posts that are critical of Zinni the Pooh or that are encouraging sedition in Hong Kong, and they harass people on the internet. You didn't even know they were doing it. I learned that from the Epoch Times. It's a good source of news, like those Falun Gong people there. They've been oppressed by, I don't know too much about them, but the China's came after them and oppressed them. And they've been funding the Epoch Times, and I think they've done a good job. And they've done a good enough job that I'm supporting them. But I don't know them personally. But we do have to understand these Democrats are in the pocket of the Chinese. They think it's racist and xenophobic to not support the Chinese Nazi Party. So you have to support Zinni the Pooh and National Socialism and cultural Marxism over Americans and over patriots and over people who support free speech, democracy, the republic, people who stand up for the Constitution. You can't support them. They're far right. They're part of the conservative power structure that the Chinese Nazi Party is trying to use the far left to wipe out by labeling them as far right. Now, do you see the cyber game, the cyber warfare? This is what they've been doing. They've been playing mindfuck to turn the far left against the far right, putting as many people in the far right as you can, put the conservative power structure in there, and then you use your Chinese Nazi Party advertising networks on Facebook to give people atrocity propaganda, run and attack boogeyman propaganda, and you rig Wikipedia, and you rig the fake news and you promote bullshit remakes of formerly badass movies with a white male character, and you replace that character with a whaman, a African American, a Wajin, or a Kleenex because they are crying rivers of lib tears. So they need Kleenex to dry them snowflake eyes. And it's raw. And so they are bringing cultural Marxism to a theater near you, sponsored by Hollywood Democrats from California who would like to take your white privilege. They want to take it all and give it to the African Americans and the Kleenex so they can get the white feminists to vote for them. Because that's how fucked up these people are. And I can't even make this shit up because it's just so fucking raw and funny. And there's so many facts. You can check them all. And they all come out legit. It's like, whoa, these people are fucked up. Damn, these people are like Nazi level fucked up, man. Like, no, you can't say anything about that. That's hate speech. Really? Really? So you guys can you guys can burn down our cities. You could say we hate fascists, punch fascists in the face, kill fascists, all you want, right? Then the moment we stand up and start criticizing you with like hilarious comedy and just raw, savage, relentless, brutal criticism, like burning down the cities, killing cops, looting businesses, killing business owners, terrorizing neighborhoods. But I can't say anything about how batshit crazy you people are because it's hate speech. This is insane. This is why we have to enforce our antitrust laws against Google, Apple, Facebook, Twitter, Quora, all of these companies trying to get a monopoly on controlling democracy. Most of them are run by immigrants from outside of the country. They don't have your best interests in mind. In fact, they want to loot our country and take it back to their country. They want to import all of their people and take over the entire social media tech industry and make it all theirs, like Quora. They're the proud immigrant-owned company, right? Right, that censors your speech on Quora. I've had my free speech censored so many times for just absolutely lunatic things, like criticizing feminism, like just saying just something that like it's obviously wasn't. They take everything out of context. Any sort of thing, they're like, oh, that's negative. They blocked out all the voices. So now they're in a groupthink echo chamber in the heterodoxy down there in the Silicon Valley, groupthink echo chamber. And they blocked everybody out. So once they actually get the real news, they flip out. They can't take it because they don't have a spine. They can't deal with the criticism. It's way too raw and relentless. It's too real. They can't deal with it. They're like, this. He has to be the crazy one. He has to be the one that's far right, right? It's not possible that I am the far leftist lunatic. No, everyone else is a tyrant but me. And this is how you turn into a genocidal maniac. Because eventually you start believing anything that's true because you think everybody's lying to you. And as it turns out, you've just been radicalized by some PSYOP operation using atrocity, run, and attack boogeyman propaganda used in a coordinated way to allow a boogeyman savior to sick you like an attack dog on the conservative power structures. The far left can wipe out the conservative power structure by pretending they are the far right. That is what's going on. That is the PSYOP that China has been pulling on us. And that's what the Democrats are supporting. This chop thing's all a part of it. All this shit is just a gigantic, massive cyber warfare operation from a Nazi group in China. Chinese Nazi party run by Zinni the Pooh, a.k.a. Xi Jinping. So we have to take out the Chinese Nazi party. We have to bring democracy to Hong Kong, Taiwan, and mainland China. And all of the dominoes will fall over, and there will be peace and prosperity in China, Hong Kong, Taiwan, Vietnam, and the rest of communist Asia. Because the gig is up. They know the time is over. They just need to know that the rest of the world supports them, and they will rise up and they will take them out. And we will rise up and take out the Democrats. We will take back our cities. We will shut down the black looter mob. We will shut down the Antifa Nazis. We will shut down the cartel. We will shut down the terrorists that are manipulating our social media, our facts, our history, whitewashing us, cultural Marxists, elimination of our statues, our history, replace it with a black version. They're going to replace statues of white George Washington with black George Washington. They will destroy Mount Rushmore, and they will put up statues of slaves because they're cultural Marxists. They don't care about your white culture. They think that it's evil. They think you excluded them from your culture back when they were like 2 or 3% of the population. And so now you're guilty for the stuff that these people did hundreds of years ago. So they need to come and riot and loot and burn your city down, take your white privilege, attack you, take all your money. They need to rob your house. They need to burn it down because you're a privileged white man. You get this white privilege from the white privilege factory. You're not sharing with the Wham Man, the African Americans, Washingtons, and the Kleenexes. So we have to kill your culture because it's not Marxism that failed. It's your culture that failed. And you're the one that's standing between them and their cultural Marxist utopia. So they need to take you out. They need to take your culture out. They need to take your statues out. They need to take your religion out. They need to take out your movies. That's cultural Marxism. That's what we're experiencing right now. And they want to shut me down, prevent me from telling you about it, because they're antitrust, ivory tower liberals. So we have to shut these people down before they burn all of our cities down.